Welcome to the Holly Hibbard Leadership Podcast, your go-to source for actionable insights, practical advice, and inspiring stories to help you lead with faith-filled purpose at work and at home. If you're looking to equip, empower, and encourage yourself to thrive in an ever-changing world, you're in the right place. I'm Holly Hibbard, and with over 20 years of experience as a science teacher, leadership coach, entrepreneur, and relationship mentor, I understand the challenges and growth opportunities that come with pursuing your passion. Whether you're chasing career goals, taking entrepreneurial leaps, or finally reaching for those long postponed ambitions, I'm here to help. So let's get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations and explore ways you can lead your family, lead your life, and find your calling with intention and faith. Hello, friends. I'm back, and today let's talk about patience. Oh my goodness. I recently posted a question on my social media asking the habit that people feel that they need the most growth in, and patience was a big one. And what's so fun for me being in this space of personal development, personal leadership, and helping people boost their emotional intelligence, I love teaching tools people can use to improve patience. I think there is a misunderstanding where people think, well, I'm a pretty impatient person and that's never going to change. Or they expect that, well, maybe as I get older, I will become a more patient person. And I'm here to tell you today, regardless of the situation that you're in where you have deemed yourself impatient or a person in your life has deemed yourself impatient, or how important you think those scenarios are, there are absolutely things you can do to improve your willingness to wait, to give people time to reply. And this applies in so many different areas of life, right? There's a joke between my husband and I, and not even a joke, but I can wait in line for something and I can find a way to bide my time. I know I remind myself in this moment, here's an example, that, okay, this line is really long and I have so many other things I would rather be doing right now. And there's nothing I can do about this. And this is a necessary task that I need to complete or an errand I need to run. And I will bear with it. Does that mean that I'm enjoying it every second? No, but there's things I'm mentally reminding myself of that I can utilize in that moment to make it less miserable. My husband, on the other hand, not a fan of waiting at all. And at other times, he can be patient. So I highlight that, to be a little bit silly and to show you that you are human and we all have moments where we just need to chill out. So what are these tools that I'm talking about? How can we find ways to improve our level of patience, to take it up just a notch of improvement from where we are now? I think to start, it goes without saying that being a patient person is so valuable in both your personal life and your professional life. When people feel that they're being given time in your present, they are more likely to feel emotionally safe and open up to you. If they feel like you're giving them time and not rushing them, they are more likely to make concise and clearer decisions. They are more likely to feel less clouded because they have time for their brain to do what needs to be done in the moment. And oftentimes, if a person is rushed or experiencing a person who is impatient, I'm going to say this is the first big thing that stands out to me. Oftentimes, those people are so overstimulated that your impatience is taking their level of overstimulation through the roof, and that is further pushing back their ability to make a clear remark, to have a decision, to accomplish whatever it is you can't seem to wait for them to do. And oh my goodness, it's such an aha moment. When I see people get impatient, all I think about is, all right, if you don't have the mindfulness to stop, and like I described myself standing in line, to stop and to think to myself, okay, how can I make this moment just a little more enjoyable? This is out of my control. If a person doesn't have the mindfulness techniques to do that and that practice, then the elementary step, first and foremost, is find a way to turn down the amount of stimulation that you are experiencing. Because that feeling of, I need to hurry up, I need to rush, I need instant gratification, this thing needs to happen right now, I don't have time, or my time is more valuable than their time, or if this thing is delayed even a moment longer, it can't possibly be the same outcome or the outcome that I want or that I desire. And I'm here to tell you that all of those thoughts are, valid, but we live in a world now with technology, the busyness of life, and especially with social media and literally the world being at our fingertips and a Google search away. We can find anything that we need. Slowing down can feel so much more difficult because the new norm is us feeling overstimulated. So it is important, yes, to have patience in your personal life so that people know that they have time to respond to you. They have time to get done the things that they need to do. We know it's important in professional life as well. We need to have timelines in our projects and things that we're completing in our careers. And patience doesn't mean an endless amount of time to get things done, but at least to give a person a window of time with a deadline on it of when the choice needs to be made, the task needs to be complete. That way they can choose their own adventure. They can pick their pace somewhere in the middle. And this applies with both your personal life and your professional life. So how do we start to use tools to practice patience? I've mentioned two of them so far. One is having that inner narrative in your mind or in your thoughts of, okay, I really don't want to wait right now. I want this thing to happen now. I want this traffic jam to go away now. I want this line to be non-existent because I want to go back to doing the things that I want to do. That's really what impatience is. It's a part of you that feels like or knows that you would rather be doing something else right now. And yes, I can talk about traffic jams and waiting in lines, but also think about those of you who are raising young children or those of you who are taking care of elderly parents. Sometimes those people, and even people our own ages, who am I kidding, need time to process information. Or they're a little kid, oh my gosh, my daughter will tell the most amazing story and it will go on and on and on and on and on. And if I'm in the middle of something, yeah, you betcha. And there are so many moments where I don't want to listen to the whole story for 20 minutes, but it's lighting up her life. And I've got to remind myself and think to myself, okay, I know there's something that I think I want to be doing more right now, but right now to her, me listening to her is like the highlight, is the best thing ever. So sometimes I have to put myself in the other person's shoes. It's not just about waiting in lines and your internet failing or slowing down for a day and you can't get the answer that you need or the person not texting you back fast enough. All those technology ways are very obvious, but this happens in our relationships too. I know that when I coached people in romantic relationships and partnerships for a long time, oftentimes many of the people I was coaching were single and actively dating. And patience and lack thereof also showed up with people having perceived markers in the timeline of what should happen when. I should be fully into this relationship by 2 months in, because a commitment 6 months away, they would just spin out of control. And I've been there too. Listen, I've done it too. Career-wise, we can say the same thing. Somebody might go into their career and say, you know what, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to accomplish X, Y, Z. And then they're 35 and they're not even halfway to X, let alone Y or Z. So patience is something to be valued. And the way that you think about these things is the first step to practicing a level of patience. I know I'm getting really detailed and into the weeds here with all these different examples, but I'm doing this for a reason. I want you to have examples of internal narrative that I and others have used to encourage the mind and the thoughts to be patient. That is so important. If we want to become a more patient person, just telling ourselves, be patient, be patient. Is it working for you? Have you tried that? Have you just told yourself to be patient and then poof, it magically works? The odds are, no, it hasn't. So I'm giving you examples of what the mind and the thoughts sound like, what the inner dialogue sounds like, so that you can start to incorporate some of those thoughts in moments where you are experiencing moments of impatience. Some people will also say that another tool is to practice meditation or simply sitting in silence. I like to think of meditation as sitting in silence. As a person of faith, as a believer in Christ, I feel that prayer is when I'm speaking to God and meditation is when I am listening. And in the most simplest form, I know that I cannot listen to God or anyone if my thoughts are going crazy, or if I am talking, or if I am overstimulated, because all the things in my environment are just pecking away at my focus. Background noise, side conversations, my phone, the alerts going off. And so it's important to understand that meditation, I'll just say for the sake of today, is sitting in silence. And that can be a great practice to improve your patience, because you can build a tolerance to sitting and doing nothing. Really, you can. I think it doesn't mean that your mind has to be 100% clear. But again, in an overstimulated, overactive world, the art of rest, the art of stopping and doing nothing is so tough for so many people. I love this phrase of doing nothing is doing something. And if you want to be more patient, get comfortable in moments of doing nothing. So what I mean by this is you pull into the driveway after that long drive and you got stuck in traffic and you're aggravated to heck. Just park the car, turn your radio off or whatever you're listening to, put your phone on silent or better yet, airplane mode, and sit there. Sit there. Just sit. Because what do we normally do? I mean, I know I'm so guilty of like parking the car and then scrolling on my phone and then going in the house 20 minutes later. That is not sitting and doing nothing. I'm still, in that example, overstimulating my mind. That does not promote patience. So then what this translates to is the next time I am listening to a long-winded story, or I'm at a social event and I'm such an introvert and I'm meeting people that I don't know and there are over-talkers, and I am actively listening and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't like this conversation, but I'm going to be patient and keep my mouth shut and listen. Those moments of learning how to sit and do nothing and just pay attention can be really valuable. It is a tool that can support you in developing patience. I think the best thing I can do here is go back to overstimulation and why I keep bringing this up. Because I think that one of the main tools you can implement when you are working to become more patient is turning off and turning down things that are stimulating you. I, a long time ago, put my phone from making a noise every time I got a notification to vibrate or on silent. I had it on silent. And then when my mom had cancer, I had to bump it back up to vibrate. And now I'm a parent, so I have to have a little bit of noise, right? But it's not as distracting as what my phone used to be when my notifications were turned on and everything had the volume on. I would get an email, I would get a noise. I'd get a text, there'd be a noise. I could have a traffic jam coming up and my navigator would make a ding, a bell. Every little thing is something. If I am in a space that is really messy or disorganized, those are all things that my subconscious is noticing. That is a form of stimulation. If you work in an office space that has lots of people around you, that background noise can be very distracting. And when our nervous system has to spend, and our brain has to spend all day long filtering out the things that we don't want to hear or see and only focusing on what we do want to hear or see, that takes energy. And then we try to go to our quieter time of the day, and you know what we don't have much more of? Energy to focus. And that's called patience. That's called patience and waiting it out. We don't have the capacity to do it anymore. So find ways that you can redo your environment, spruce up your environment, create a schedule, turn off notifications, only check your email 3 set times per day, not be instantly available to everyone every second. Any opportunity you have to turn that down just a little bit will free up the mental energy that you need to be more patient when it counts. And you might think to yourself, yeah, but what if it's someone I really want to hear from? Or what if I'm, seeing somebody new and I do want to get their message and I don't want to wait? Or what if I'm looking for this job, or I could get this really great, or close this really great sales deal and blah, blah, blah. It matters to me that I get all these messages because I'm excited about it. That's great. Practice delayed gratification. Because again, all of us have succumbed to this societal thing where everything is available right now. And that has subsequently diminished how patient we are. So by practicing some of these tools and techniques, and there's way more than these can help you to boost how patient you are in your personal life and your professional life. Just repeating to yourself the mantra of be patient, that's not going to work. You've really got to get into your brain and notice the thoughts that you think. Notice how overstimulated you are. Set timelines, practice delayed gratification, and all of the benefits that come with these little tiny practices over time will boost your overall patience in general. I hope this was helpful. I would love to know what you think. How patient or impatient do you think you are? And which of these techniques are you going to try or gave you an aha moment to help you at least have hope that, hey, I might be able to chill out a little bit more this time? Fill me in. I'd love to hear it. And until next time, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening. I'm high-fiving you right now because I'm so proud of you for putting your personal growth first. Remember, I believe in you, and with faith-filled intention and committed actions, you can lead your life, purpose, and family to wherever you dream possible. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean so much to me if you'd take 30 seconds to help others discover the show. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, share the show with your friends and family, or screenshot this episode to your Instagram stories and tag me at the Holly Hibbard. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. I'm always here cheering you on, and until next time, stay curious, remain encouraged, and keep empowering yourself. You're doing better than you think. I promise.